Have you ever thought about what people will say at your funeral? How about what people will remember you for when you die? How about this? Have you impacted on anyone's life in a way that they can never repay you? I guess I ask these questions because we have to face the facts. Death is inevitable. This means that if death is inevitable, life is precious. Not because it can be taken so easy, but because we never know when it will be taken. If you knew when someone was going to die, or even when you were going to die, you'd live differently, wouldn't you? People take life for granted way too much these days. We don't actually have much time when you think about the bigger picture of eternity. We just exist. We don't actually live. We don't know something now because we don't do something now because we'll think we'll have time to do it later. Truth is, you don't know when your time will be up. We need to appreciate every moment we get, everyone in those moments, and we need to make sure that each moment counts for what's really important. I used to take things for granted. I used to think that I've got all the time in the world, or death, that won't happen to me until later. This changed when my best friend died. It was the Saturday before our first HSC exams. She'd been shopping for her sister's wedding and was on her way to my house to pick up some shoes. She texted me earlier and said she was borrowing my heels for the wedding and she would be coming around 12. She never came. I assumed she would just come later, but then I heard a knock on the door. I made my way downstairs and opened it up to see who it was, but it wasn't her. Sorry. It was my other friend. She'd been crying and her eyes were really red. I quickly rushed her and asked her what was wrong. All she could get out was, "She's gone," before she started crying again. I asked her who was gone, and then I looked into her eyes. I froze. So many things rushed through my mind and I didn't believe her. I just saw her yesterday. I thought she couldn't be dead. People I know don't die. They just don't. I spent the next few weeks feeling numb. I didn't want to live if she wasn't here. We had plans to go places. What was I supposed to do without her? She was gone. I couldn't just turn up at her house anymore. I couldn't just call her when I had a problem. We would never do all the things we dreamed about. She would never do all the things she dreamed about. It was after those weeks, when I was cleaning my room, I came across a book from year 11 that I never returned to the library. It was called Looking for Alibrandi. It was actually a really good book about a girl who was caught between two different worlds, and she was on a journey of self-discovery and emancipation. In the book, the girl Josie had a friend named John who commits suicide. She didn't believe he was dead when she first found out, but she accepted that he was, and she was angry at him. She thought that he didn't have the right to die if he'd never suffered in life like she had. Her father helped her realise that just because he had wealth, he wasn't happy, and that these things do happen in life, but despite hard times, we need to go on living. These were the first moments of my change. I realised that despite hardships, you need to keep moving forward through life, even when unexpected things happen. Things you never think would happen to you. Later on, I watched a movie from my childhood. It was called Bridge to Terabithia. In the movie, Jesse befriends his new neighbour Leslie, and they become best friends. Then they create this fantasy world together called Terabithia, and it was on the other side of a river near their houses. They had many adventures together, and they changed each other in many different ways. One afternoon, when he got home, he found out that Leslie had died. Jesse doesn't believe his dad when he tells him, and he just denies it at first. But he eventually accepts her death, blaming himself. But after talking to his dad, he learns that it wasn't his fault. He learns to let go which lets go of her, which helps him with his grief. And he wants to continue on in the memory of her, so he builds a bridge to Terabithia. My change continued on from there. I realised that I couldn't change what had happened, but it was a part of life. Death is unexpected. You love and you lose people. That's just the way it goes. You don't think that the next time you say goodbye to someone could be the last time you ever say goodbye to them. I realised that my best friend was gone, but I still had to live. The death of my best friend changed how I viewed life. It made me think about it and realise that it is precious and it can end at any moment, whether you're ready or not. I came to terms with the fact that death was a part of life and it creates a lot of hurt that some people never fully recover from, but they have to keep living. I am always now trying to appreciate what I've got and the people in my life, because who knows how long we have them for. It's not our decision.